Good evening, Hawks fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Atlanta Sports District. I'm your host, Russell Spence, coming to you after what became a 128 to 125 loss to the New York Knicks. Tonight's game, we fought valiantly. We gave it everything we had. We made me a little bit proud to be a Hawks fan for the first time in a while. But again, I felt certain coaching decisions drastically hurt us. And that is what led us to lose the game. Starting off, offensively, we played pretty well. Trey didn't shoot the ball well, but he moved the ball super well, got us into great actions. Jalen played fantastic. Onyeka played fantastic. Naw played fantastic. We played very well offensively. Defensively, it was still not good enough. You can't give up 128 points in a game and try to win the game. You can't do it. It's just not possible. I don't care what has to happen. You have to play better defensive lineups. Again, we had Kennard play in this game. He can't play. We had Asa get huge minutes in tonight's game. And he played really great offensively. And that had his plus minus be about even. But he played one of the best offensive games he's played all year. And we still lost his minutes because of how bad his defense is. While they have Mitchell Robinson and Cat ripping us to shreds. You can't continue to play these lineups. It's just not feasible to continue to play like this and have success. So, moving forward, we have an insanely rough schedule. And if we play Oklahoma City with the current rotations that we're playing, we're going to get blown out. And then when we play Minnesota, we're going to get blown out. And then when we play New York, we fought as hard as we could. We played as well as we could have in the second half, and it didn't matter because we started the game out behind. Again, I talked about this just yesterday, but how often are we seeing games where we are playing from behind early because of a coaching decision? Tonight, that decision was in the second quarter. Once again, something about Quinn's decision making in the second quarter is pitiful. And I don't know what it is or why he thinks that at the start of the second quarter you have to go with these intensely offensive lineups. Well, the lineups don't even make sense on offense. The lineup we had at the start of the second quarter today was Kennard and Veet and Asa all on the floor at the same time. And during this span of time, there were multiple times where we had Zach playing the 4. And I love Zach. I think Zach needs to play more. But Zach is not big enough to play the 4, especially against a team as big as they are. Quinn Snyder, in his post-game press conference, talked about how they have OG, who's huge, and Cat, who's huge, and Mitchell Robinson, who's huge. Every player they got. Mikal Bridges, 6'9" and up. They're huge. And so what do? We go small? That makes no sense. You're never going to get a rebound. And we got torched in the overall rebounding game. We couldn't get a board. McCullers is getting offensive rebounds, and Cat's getting offensive rebounds, and Robinson's getting offensive rebound because we can't box them out because they're out hiding us by 3 or 4 inches a man. Maybe let's look at the process of who we're putting on the floor and why. And understand that our biggest team weakness all year has been defensive rebounding. It's not even passable. We have like a bottom 5 defensive rebounding rate in the entire NBA. That will catch up with you. And it will continue to be that way as long as we play these lineups that can't get stops, can't get boards, does not play defense, and is not physically capable of doing the things they need to do defensively. Are you really sitting here and expecting when you put a lineup like that with Veet and Asa and Kennard and Zach at the 4, or are you sitting here going, yeah, that lineup's really going to be able to board? No. Nobody in their right mind would believe that. And so we get shellacked on the defensive glass. And then add on top of that, we don't play. Mo Gay played 1 minute. He's probably our second best defender on the whole team. And he's probably the second best rebounder on the whole team. And he played 1 minute. We gave up 126 points probably give up less than that if Mo plays more than 1 minute. It doesn't make sense to me. Ever. And so I keep saying it, but when, not if, but when. We're about to go on an 11-game losing streak if all does what it's supposed to. And when that happens, it will set in stone. Quinn Snyder is going to be fired, and the reason why will be because of the people he plays, the rotations he puts on the floor. Because at the end of the day, we just passed through a stretch of games we were supposed to win, and we lost them. And now we're going to a stretch of games that we're supposed to lose, and we're going to lose them. And when we do, that will be a hideous outcome coming up for the Atlanta Hawks. Moving to the player by player, as I said, Mo Gay played 1 minute. So I'm not going to talk about him much other than that's absolutely ridiculous and he needs to play more. Then we'll move to Luke Kennard. Luke played 5 minutes. He had 2 points on 1 of 1 shooting, did not record another stat. But when he was on the floor, we were -2. -2 in 5 minutes, not looking super great. Looking at Nickeil Alexander-Walker next. He played 30 minutes. He had 25 points on 8 of 18 shooting, 5 of 12 from 3, played very well, had an assist, no turnovers. Big thing for Nall, no turnovers. He desperately needs to take care of the ball, and he did tonight. Played very well. And subsequently, in his minutes, we were +4. Played very well with Nall on the floor. Very happy with the way he's playing. Like I said, he has about 1 game in every 7 where he has a really bad efficiency night. Other than that, he's playing great. Next, we'll talk about Vít Krejci. Vít played 24 minutes. He had 9 points on 3 of 8 shooting, 3 of 8 from 3. He had 3 fouls. Defense was pretty bad, and he was -3 in the game. He didn't record another stat. Again, the defense is usually bad with Vít on the floor, but usually he makes enough shots to make up for it. Tonight, he just didn't shoot a great percentage from 3, and thus he was -3. Overall, the minutes were fine. I would like to see Zach get more minutes just because his defense is so much better. Like, significantly better. So play Zach more. Doesn't make sense. Play him at the 3 the minutes he deserves. The amount of minutes he deserves at the 3, because that's where he's a great defender. Maybe even at the 2, but definitely not at the 4. That is where he will get absolutely stomped and shredded because he weighs like 170 pounds and he's 6'10". He's just too thin right now. And that's not a knock on him. He is a 20-year-old human playing against grown men. That's not going to go well. I saved this one for last because Asa played 17 minutes. He had 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3, and 2 rebounds with only 1 foul. If you just saw that, you would think that guy played awesome. And I will admit, offensively, he was fantastic. He absolutely could not be stopped when he was on the floor on offense. Yet, he was -3 in his minutes. What does that tell you, dear viewer of the Atlanta Sports District? What does that tell you? That tells you his defense is so bad that even when he has a game offensively like that, where he misses 1 shot and moves the ball perfectly and is absolutely as good as you can ask a rookie to be on offense, he's still so bad on defense he can't make up for it. And yet we're still playing him more than we're playing Mo Gay. And I will never understand that. And until we change that, we may not win a game. You know, I keep talking about as long as we're giving up 100 points in 3 quarters, that we'll not win a game. Well, congrats. Tonight we actually had an opportunity to win because we only gave up 98 points in the first 3 quarters. When I'm saying we only gave up that many in 3 quarters, that tells you how bad the defense is right now. And I think it's a connectivity issue. I don't think that we're playing together. I don't think we're communicating. I think it's a personnel issue. I think we're playing the wrong players who can't get stops. And I think it's that the coaching staff has lost the soul of the locker room, that they are not fighting the way that they should because they don't believe in this anymore, the way that the coaching staff is deploying it. And I have been on many sports teams and seen many sports teams a lot of times. And usually when things go bad is when the personnel on the team, the players, when they know in their head and their heart of hearts that this player is not as good as this player, but this player's playing for whatever reason, I call it the basketball gods. The basketball gods are going to let a team win that plays the worst player over the better player. Ever. You're not going to win games that way under any circumstances. So, here we are. Not playing well. Losing games. And it's going to stay that way as long as we don't make the right personnel decisions. Moving to the starters, Zach played 19 minutes only. He had 4 points on 2 of 7 shooting, 0 of 2 from 3. He had 4 rebounds. Actually played very well rebounding the basketball today. Would have been very helpful to have a 6'11 guy playing his natural position to rebound against these ginormous players. But instead, we thought playing Veet 24 minutes was a good idea. Instead of playing Veet 19 and playing Zach 24, those 5 minutes would have been very helpful to our rebounding deficit. Don't know why we're doing that. Moving on, we'll talk about Dyson Daniels. Dyson had 13 points in 39 minutes on 5 of 8 shooting. He had 8 rebounds and 9 assists, 3 turnovers, and was +1. Defense was great. Brunson's really good, but overall, Dyson made his life really hard. I mean, Brunson shot 29 times to score 34 points. That is some pitiful efficiency, and that's all Dyson. Dyson's defense kept us in the game on Brunson. Next, we'll talk about Onyeka Okongwu. Onyeka made up for his last game. He played probably his worst game of the season last game. He played awesome tonight. He had 31 points in 36 minutes on 10 of 16 shooting, 6 of 10 from 3, 14 rebounds and an assist, but he did foul out. He was a net 0. He did not have a plus-minus because we tied with him in the game. Onyeka struggles to rebound against really huge players, but really huge players struggle to defend Onyeka. And so you kind of have a give and take there. It might be helpful, just an idea, to have a 6'11 Senegalian super freak there to help Onyeka rebound. That could be a helpful and desirable outcome to chase. I wonder if the Hawks happen to have a 6'11 Senegalian super freak on their team who might help with these rebounding deficits. The world may never know. Moving on to Trae Young. He had 31 minutes, 9 points on 2 of 9 shooting, 0 of 4 from 3. Like I said, didn't shoot the ball well tonight, but only took 9 shots. Needs to shoot the ball more. Only had no rebounds. He had 6 turnovers. They were throwing a lot of looks at him, and he was doing a lot of over-dribbling through people. Not really a thing he does a ton usually, but I think they were kind of coercing him into going towards the basket, and when they were, then they would close with like 2 or 3 people usually, and before he could pick it up and get it out, he hadn't absorbed the pressure because he was so far in the paint. Nothing he can do. You can't back up. There's no escape at that point. So he'll watch the tape, I'm sure, and he will go and say, hey, don't need to get caught in that between the rock and the hard place there. And he'll fix that. I'm sure he's the hardest worker I've ever seen in an NBA player. And so he'll get it done. But 10 assists getting us really well set into our offensive structure. And the offense was very good with him on the floor. Just one problem. He was minus 13 because the defense was absolutely pitiful with him on the floor, and he has to be better. He has to rotate better. He has to hustle better. He has to play better. He is getting where now he should be in a little bit better game shape. He's been playing a little bit. He's got to play better on defense. The offense always works with him on the floor. We cannot survive if he's playing this kind of defense, and we're also playing other players who can't get stops. When you have lineups going out there that's like Trae, Veet, Asa, and Zach out of position, that lineup's about to give up a lot of points really fast. And that's what happened. And that cost us the game, especially in that second quarter when they had that big run. The lineups were very stupid. We didn't deploy really dumb lineups in the second half. And you notice we came back and almost won. Imagine we hadn't done that in the first half, didn't have to come back in the second half. That would have been really helpful. So, moving forward, as I said in our last game, We have a really rough schedule ahead. On Monday, we play the Thunder, and then we play the Timberwolves in the next game. Then it goes Knicks, Raptors, Raptors. If we lose all those games, it would be an 11-game losing streak. And we're going to be projected to lose all those games. Now, likelihood, one team won't show up, maybe two. But if everybody does what they're supposed to, every single one of those teams will beat us, and that will be really, 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 really negative to our overall success, and you're going to start seeing changes made at that point, which I don't want. This team is good. Just play the players that matter. Play the players that can get stops and are prepared to do what they need to do in today's game. I would like to end our show today by just talking about this rebounding discrepancy. They had 55 rebounds in the game, and we had 37. That has been what's been happening all year long. We can't rebound. Please play players who can stop people on defense and get rebounds. There's really no acceptable alternative to doing that, ever. So with that being said, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends about the podcast. Tell me what's going on, what you think, what's going on in your lives. Interested to hear about you guys. And above all else, I hope you have a great day.